We're going to be looking at finding the equation of straight lines. What I suggest you do is pause the video, have a go yourself, and then see if you get the same answer as I do. Okay, question 1. An equation has, a line has the equation y is equal to 3x plus 4, and it says write down the gradient of the line. Well, as we can see, this is in the form y is equal to mx plus c, and the m is the gradient. So the gradient is 3, and the y-intercept, that's indicated by that, that's the c value there. So the coordinates of the y-intercept are 0, 4. Okay, we're going to use y is equal to mx plus c, and we can see straight away that the c is 1. Let us now work out the gradient, and what we want to do is we want to form a triangle, and we're best to do it where we can create this triangle here. We've got whole numbers basically, and so this height is 5, the rise is 5, and the run is 1, so the gradient is the rise over the run, 2 over 1, which is 2. So y is equal to 2x plus 1. Could find the equation of this straight line. Again, we're going to use y is equal to mx plus c. Y is equal to, well, the y-intercept is negative 1. We just now need to work out the gradient. I'm going to use this little triangle here, and we see that we have a rise of 1 and a run of 1, so the gradient is 1 over 1, which is 1. So the equation is 1 times x minus 1, which we would normally write as x minus 1. Let's work out the equation of the straight line. Hopefully we're now seeing how powerful this y is equal to mx plus c is. So the y-intercept is negative 1. And I want to work out the equation, the gradient of the line. And I'm going to choose these 2 points here because I can form a triangle like that, where we have a rise of 2 and a run of 1. Now, this line, as we go from left to right, is going downwards, and that means that the gradient is negative. So in fact, we need to say that the gradient is negative 2, and then the y-intercept is negative 1. Okay, so this equation here hasn't been written in the form y is equal to mx plus c. So let us rearrange so that it is. And in this case, we just subtract 3x from both sides. We get that. So we can now see that the gradient is negative 3. That's that value there. And it crosses the y-axis at 0, 15. Okay, and we have 4 lines. Which lines go through 2, 9? So don't forget what this is. This is an x value of 2 and a y value of 9. And if we take line A, which is y is equal to 4x plus 1, what that is saying is, in fact, let me just draw a box here. If we have an input of x and an output of y, what we're meant to do is multiply by 4 and then add 1. Now, if we notice the input is 2, 2 times 4 is 8, add 1 is 9. Does it go through 2, 9? Yes, it does. Let's check on this one. Y plus 2x is equal to 8. So let's do this with the table this time. X and y. So when x is 2, what does y equal? Sorry, I'm going to use 9. So those are the coordinates there, 2, 9. So 9 plus 2 lots of 2, does that equal 8? No, it doesn't. It equals 13. So no, that one doesn't work. Y is equal to 9 minus 2x. Again, I'm going to use this kind of idea, this function idea. So we're going to take away 9 minus 2 lots of input, 2 lots of x. If we input x and output y, the input is the x value, which is 2. So 9 minus 2 times 2, which is 9 minus 4, gives 5. So that one doesn't go through 2, 9. And then the final one we're going to look at, y minus 3x is equal to 3. Let's see if that's true. So y is 9 when x is 2. 3 times 2, 9 minus 6 equals 3. So in fact, that's also true. The line passes through the points 0, 7 and 3, 19. Work out the equation of the line. I'm actually going to draw a little sketch for this. You don't need to do it, but I am going to do that. So it goes through 0, 7 and 3, 19. It's only a sketch, so it doesn't have to be accurate. But what it's going to do is going to give me an idea. First of all, I can see that the line has a positive gradient, and that's a good thing. We can also see that the y-intercept is 7. Now, to work out the gradient, we want to see what the rise is, the difference between the y values, 19 and 7. So that height is 12. And then the x values go from 0 to 3, so that distance is 3 there. So the gradient is the rise over the run, which is 4. So using y is equal to mx plus c, y is equal to, the gradient is 4, and the y-intercept is 7. I'm going to draw a sketch again. It only has to be a sketch, it doesn't have to be accurate. So A is negative 3, 5. So that's there. I'm going to write that like that, negative 3, 5. And B is 1 and negative 15. That's B there, which is 1, negative 15. And I'm going to connect those points there. Okay, straight away I can see that the gradient is negative because as we go from left to right, the line goes downwards. Okay, so I'm going to work out the gradient. I'm going to create a little triangle there. Now this distance here is the distance between 5 and negative 15, so that distance there is 20. And this distance here is from negative 3 to 1, so that distance is 4. Now I know that my gradient is negative, and we could write that as negative 20. So it's negative 20 over 4, which is negative 5. So now we can say y is equal to negative 5x plus c. Okay, we need to work out the value of c. So we want to use one of the points, and it doesn't matter which one you use. I'm going to use negative 3, 5. And what this is saying is, when x is negative 3, y is 5. So let's put that in there. 5 equals negative 5 times negative 3. And so the only unknown is the c value. So that's 5 is equal to 15 plus c. C is equal to negative 10. So using y is equal to mx plus c, we've got y is equal to negative 5x minus 10. I'm going to have a little look to see if it looks about right, and that is a negative value. So I think so it's correct. A line has a gradient of 8 and passes through the points 2, 3. Okay, so we can say y is equal to mx plus c. We know that the m is 8 plus c. We need to find the value of c, And we do have a relationship between x and y. We know that when x is 2, y is 3. So let's put those values in so we can find the value of c. When y is 3, when x is 2. So that's 3 is equal to 16 plus c. So c is equal to negative 13. So y is equal to 8x minus 13.